On that note, I'd like to introduce Kate Fryer, who is the Artistic Director of Dislocate, a small company based in Victoria, and to congratulate her. Recently, she received funding from the Australia Council, and I can't tell you how hard that is to do at the moment, for her project for next year. So congratulations, Kate.
This is some images that you feel free to watch if you want to see. It's not particularly important to what I'm saying, so it's just images of our company. So Dislocate's actually celebrated its 15th birthday this year. For a project-based company, I think it's pretty astounding. We have been supported over the years by both ACAPTA and the Australia Council and other funding bodies. But this year with the big shift and change, for a moment we got very excited and went, right, we're finally going to step up and go, yeah, let's go for that, real funding. And then we went, we're not eligible because we set up completely differently all the way along. So we were kind of at this crossroads and it was either do or die, and we made a big shift and change. So for the first time in 15 years, there's a third company member to Dislocate. So DJ Garner is now a member of the company, and we completely changed the company's structure. So we now have 3 different areas of the company. DJ, who takes care of the corporate and the street events, and having that be his solo focus has completely upped the work in that level, which has been fantastic. It was interesting that Karen showed you a picture of a wheel before, because we now have 2 of those that are constantly out moving around doing things, which is lovely. We also have 3 Speed, which is still working a lot and going everywhere. Yeah, there it is. Jeffrey Dunstan is taking care of all the kids shows, which is our fairy show and Curiosity. He's now had time to actually really focus on building those local and regional markets. Might be a little bit too late, some people might say. That's the nature of it. And that's led to some really interesting partnerships, which I'll talk a bit more about in a moment. I've now been free to focus on our major theatre work, If These Walls Could Talk, which is another work that's taken quite a long time to come to fruition. It's been through any number of developments, with an avant-premiere at one point, to which the response was so huge that we went, we need to really fix this show up and make it 100% work. So we've gone back to the table, and Vic Arts funded another development which fixed up a lot. You'll see some footage of that show in a while. And we have now just received Australia Council funding to put it back out there as a full piece and finally fix up all the other bits we need to do, which is fantastic. But back to partnerships, I think this is where Dislocate and many of the smaller companies may want to look. We certainly have found it a much more exciting way to get work. As we all know, funding is just getting harder and harder to come by. Lots of reasons for that, but the positive one, I think, is that our sector is actually growing. There's some fantastic new talent coming out. They are producing shows, and they deserve to be funded. It is kind of nice that you still like us old buggers. So Dislocate this year created a little festival under Jeffrey Dunstan's direction with the Barinja Cultural Centre. So it was a collaboration between the Circus School, the Barinja Cultural Centre and Dislocate. This year's program had a series of student shows from the Circus School. Dislocate presented Curiosity, which is our children's show, and then we did an evening cabaret, which incorporated Dislocate, including Matt Wilson's Solid State Circus, past and present Ruckus students, many of whom have gone on to NICA and/or successful careers in the industry. Ex-students and coaches also operated the sound and rigged and stage managed, so it was a microcosm of the kind of Mullumbimby festival. We had a lot less people working, but many people just putting in lots of time and effort to make sure it got up. It's going to become an annual festival, so anybody interested in getting some work happening up there, you need to talk to Jeff. It's a fantastic theatre, it's incredibly well stocked. It was critically incredibly successful, and financially we didn't lose any money. So So yes, please contact Jeff if you're interested in joining in that one. Dislocate's been looking all around to foster those sorts of relationships, partly due to the fact that we now have more children outnumbering performers in the company. We've been trying to focus regionally and locally. We've had a great collaboration with the Darabin Arts Centre this year, which is hopefully in negotiation to be an annual event. And we're also in negotiations with Ceres Environmental Park, which is also to set up an annual event. We're looking at co-productions and collaborations with filmmakers and contemporary composers. I think our world is so tactile now. Kids get an iPad at the age of 2 and know how to manipulate it. So everybody, filmmakers included, we need to go beyond 3D. We need to really make all of our art incredibly visual, incredibly tactile. You need to be able to taste it, sense it, feel it. So that's where we're looking to do that, because they want us and we want them, and hopefully between collaborations we can start putting our fingers in many pies of funding and looking across the board. So I see that as the future for especially new and emerging companies. Funding's not going to get any easier to come by, but if you can possibly look around and see who else has ideas that are similar to you and form collaborations and actually find different ways to get your work out there, hopefully everybody can last at least 15 years, if not 20 or 30. Thank you.